Welcome to the Mills Tap House and Grill. I'm your host today, Chris, and with you, the Soccerholic community, we are going on a tour to the Serie A, where we will be enjoying the lovely rivalry between two teams playing in one city and one stadium, and that stadium is the San Siro. I'm talking about AC Milan versus Inter Milan. Red versus blue. What color will the city be today? We won't know. But what I do know is that we'll be joining the AC Milan, the red side of Milan, today to enjoy the game experience. Please come inside with us, guys, as we do warm up and enjoy a very hot, contested affair. First off, I just want to say thank you again, guys, for having us be here for the Milan derby. I wish it went another way, obviously. Don't have the blues, guys. Show your red. Show your pride. I like that. But I want to start off with Bellucci for you. Was he a success, a flop?
So I want to start off with saying that I actually bought a Bellucci jersey last year that I probably will never wear ever. The good thing that came out of that is that we acquired Higuain. We got, Caldara in that trade, so it ends up making up for it. But I will never wear that jersey that I got from him ever. That's pretty much it. What I'm looking forward to about Milan is Lucas Paquetá. I think he's going to be a great player. I personally follow the Brazilian league, and I've seen what he does there. I can't wait for that guy to come to Milan.
So there's hope for the future. So are there any other players for you that have caught your attention this season for Milan?
I really like Cutrone. I think he's really good, and I wish he would maybe start a little bit more to get his power out there.
Okay, all right. So what does Gattuso maybe now have to do to get Cutrone to play a bit more? Does he have to switch formation, or do we need to maybe get a new coach?
No, we don't need a new coach just yet, but we probably need to adapt that more of attacking formation with the two strikers. It would probably help right from the get-go as opposed to waiting when it's too late.
To you now, what I need to know is, what is Milan's ambitions going into the season? Right now, unfortunately, they did lose the derby, but we have Europa League to look ahead, and you know what? The Serie A has 6, 7, maybe even 8 good teams. Who's going to get into those Europe spots? Is Milan one of those teams?
I think we still definitely have a chance. We are still one game less than everyone else. We've only played 8 matches, with everyone else has played 9. So if we can win that game against Genoa, and we just need to solve our mental issue. We can't play a full game, and that's been our problem the whole time. Proved it today, 92nd minute, we lost it. We have to keep our composure, and if we do, I think we can get into that 4th spot. 3rd, probably not, but 4th we could sneak in.
Okay, all right, well said. But now I got to keep sliding on. We got to go right here because this man right here wants to get in on the little questions here. So what I need to know, what's the difference between the Milan of 10 years ago that people used to know and what we're seeing right now? Are you guys in a bit of a transition?
A transition that's been more, I'd say, been ongoing for over 3 years now. The hardest thing for us is to be a cohesive unit. Today's game, from the midfield standpoint, was we didn't realize the midfield was there. So there's a lot of improvement to do in regards to confidence, team cohesiveness, coaching strategies. It's tough being a Milan fan at this stage. We did blockbuster moves. We had a lot more financial backing back then, as opposed to now. We spent over $200 million and yet to see a cohesive unit providing any results. So the difference is money, coaching, staffing, all 3 put in place. I realize that that's what creates the difference from then and now. So our team's in rebuilding mode, yes, but it is tough, and you must have a lot of patience being a Milan fan in today's day.
So do you agree or disagree? Are you guys in a bit of a transition, or are you looking at a different standpoint? Maybe you guys are going from the old regime to a more youthful.
We're going for a more youthful. You can see like Cutrone, Calabria, Donnarumma. You see their heirs, like such as Donnarumma today. He comes off the line, doesn't get that ball. Musacho doesn't do his job covering Icardi. It ends the game. In regards to soccer now, you need the money. We're going to have the money soon. We have a lot of UEFA issues that we're still trying to resolve. But a couple signings in January, especially if you can bring in another striker, you can bring in more depth, right? When you're losing a game, you really don't have that bench. We're putting on Bakayoko, Abate, while Inter's putting on Kita Ball. They're putting on game changers. We're putting on players that want to basically hold the game at 0-0, which you can't really do. So in regards to that, Milan just got to get depth, and they got to start playing with passion. They got to start playing with that fight again. That's what makes Milan Milan.
Now, what I find funny is that you told me that you've been a Milan fan for over 30 years. So what kind?
29.
29? Well, you're getting on 30 soon. Come on. True, that's fair. So with that type of insight, do you have any advice for a Milan fan now in this time of maybe a bit of, for some would say an identity crisis, for others it's just this is a period of transition, we need patience?
There's been a lot worse times. Like I can look back to after '96. They won their 4th Scudetto in 5 years, and then finished 10th place. Got knocked out of the Champions League in the first group phase. Like, I'm dating myself by saying first group phase, but it's true. This team's gone through worse times. Like for every Shevchenko, there's a Javi Moreno. For every Van Basten, there was, there was a Mark Hatley. There's a lot of crap where there's good. And a lot of people don't realize that because we're all used to, the end of the Berlusconi era, the Ancelotti years, all that. But this team's always been epic highs to really terrible lows. I mean, 2001, they finished 7th. And then 2 years later, win a Champions League and Coppa Italia in the same year. So for all the hard times, there's going to be a reward. Just got to keep looking forward. That's it. Keep pressing forward. That's my opinion on it.
Do you believe in this youth? Will this youth finally bear fruit? Similar to teams that Atletico, Monaco, or Borussia Dortmund, even the Olympic Lyonnais maybe?
Yes, I think that's the way to go. I mean, like I said before, I was saying it when we were standing around before, but they made plenty of mistakes in the past relying on too many old players. And I think they waited too long to make that transition, and now we're suffering the consequences, but they're the right consequences to suffer through because, okay, maybe Donnarumma made that mistake today, but that's what comes with a guy like him and a guy of his age, right? You have to expect that those mistakes will happen, and they're necessary mistakes because we can't go back to, bringing back the old players and trying to go on free transfers and loans, which didn't help us in the past, just crippled them. Expensive wages. We got rid of the deadwood. Now we have the fresh youth. So I think it is definitely the direction to go for. And what are you going to do? Sit Donnarumma and then play Reina? Then what does that do? It's kind of compromising what the plan is and going back to old ways which didn't work and starting old players. So we just need to be patient and stick it through. That's it.
Well, as you see here, guys, AC Milan fans, they showed their colors, they showed their passion. But I'll close with you.
In closing.
In closing, you started this in 2017.
Yeah.
How do you plan to continue to grow this awareness?
How do we continue to grow this? Look, win or lose, we're always here, and we're always accepting Milan fans. And, it's not very hard to find us. And like I said, winning or losing, it's always sempre Forza Milan.
Forza Milan!